Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I am your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
Hello.
Thank you to everyone that's been watching all of the videos and content, liking, commenting, whether it's on the videos themselves, in the Facebook groups, anywhere. We really appreciate the love. If it's your first time watching, please like and subscribe. We don't just cover the challenge. We cover everything from the Bachelor franchise. We cover Survivor. Right now, we're covering what is it, Brian, for Netflix?
Love Never Lies.
Love Never Lies for Netflix, which is a mini series on its first season, at least released in America. It's a Spanish show. Awesome. We're also doing side things, a little side series called The First Impression Bros, which is a play off The First Impression Bros from the Bachelor franchise, where we watch the pilot or one sample episode of a reality TV series and let people know, is it worth watching a second episode? So a lot of great stuff. So again, we'd really appreciate if you subscribe, comment, send us suggestions on anything. But as you can see in the title of the video, you're here for a doubleheader episode coverage of the challenge. First half, we will do Spies, Lies, and Allies episode 16, and then we will flip over to the challenge All Stars episode 3 of season 2. Bri, this one, Spies, Lies, and Allies, River Dance. What are your overall impressions of this episode? We and you haven't talked at all about this episode.
I thought the challenge itself was really cool.
The $1 million heist one.
Yeah, I thought that was a good, like, those are the type of I don't even, what do they just call them? The chat? Like, they're not elimination challenges. They're just
missions.
The challenge. Yeah, the mission is, I thought that was one of the better ones that we've had recently. A lot of Devon drama. It kind of, like, I feel like the good parts of this episode got clouded by the house drama.
Yeah, the house drama, and if you're going to mention Devon, so obviously it was the Devon and Tori type of thing, and the kind of personal arguments that have strewn since she got infiltrated and was taken off Emerald, and kind of the arguments that have ensued between the two of them since then. I didn't like, though, that Tori kind of threw their friendship at stake.
Yeah.
Like, she keeps saying, well, this is just a game, like, we're really friends, and she literally told him that if, like, he voted her in, that they won't be friends anymore in real life. And I didn't appreciate that, because that's just not cool, in my opinion. You should keep real life out of the game.
Yeah, it's a game for money. So I every week it's really bad on this show. I think, like, they take stuff so seriously.
Oh my God, so seriously.
It's kind of crazy. It's almost like, guys, come on. Like, how many seasons have this happened? Like, if you throw someone down in elimination, it doesn't, like, you need to protect yourself and your team at this point, because it's a team game, and you're also running out of options. It's not like there's 10 people to pick from. There's, like, literally 3 girls.
There's literally 3 girls. And again, another big focus of this episode, and it kind of set up a foreshadowing of this episode, it was so much about nobody wanting Big T on their team. And I love Big T as a character. I can understand it as far as not wanting for the final, but my counter argument's always been, the last few weeks we've been talking, is they act like they know what the final is going to be and how it's going to be structured. They have no idea. We've seen it over the last few years. They rotate teammates. What does it matter? Like, you could get Big T on the one that's, like, standing on a pole for 5 hours, or like doing a Sudoku puzzle. So I'm getting sick of these people. Just admit that you're, like, you're kind of pussies. Admit that you guys don't want to go in the elimination. Admit that you're, like, Tori kind of admits it later in the episode when she sees the actual elimination. She's like, I mean, look, I don't want to be in the elimination. And she tells Devon that when we talk about a conversation they have. She's like, I don't want to be in it. Like, I respect that more than all this other crap and pseudonyms and reasons that they try to come up with to say why it's the best for everyone to have this woman put in. But just say you don't want to go in because you don't want to go home. Just say that.
Yeah, I always feel like they just assume it's going to be like a 5-mile run to start the final challenge. That's what they always seem to assume. Like, oh, Big T's not going to be good. But again, you're right. Like, they don't know what's going to happen. Like, it could be teams up until, like, there's so many situations. Again, watch previous seasons, please.
I do like that he said, that's being TJ, like, don't get comfortable. So I would just love for there to be a shakeup of all the teams, like, the week before the final. Like
Yeah, I love it.
just
TJ's
do
attitude.
something like Survivor's doing right now. Pull that kind of crap.
Yeah,
Honestly. You want to get to the challenge? We kind of already
yeah.
alluded to it. So you want to let people know about the $1 million heist?
So TJ, who's been a little sassy lately, I will say, he he's like, do you guys know how much $1 million weighs? And everyone's like, oh no, of course I don't. And they have to, there's vaults of, I think it's like, I'm assuming it's fake money.
It had to be fake money.
So like stacks of fake money adding up to $1 million. Who knows what increment bills it was, but each team, each cell had a safe, and they had to transport this money in 2 duffel bags to fit into a car. And it could be anywhere in the car. It wasn't like you could shove it in like the back pocket of seats. Like it all needed to be, he needed to shut the door, the trunk mainly, because that was like kind of the end point. And get all that money in there first. And I just thought this was a good challenge, because it having the 2 bags, it like evens the odds for the teams that are down players.
It did, but I did see later on that they when you do start to have like one person like with each hand on the bag for the runs, I think over time that definitely did play into an advantage for having more people.
Yeah, not for Nelson. Nelson was like hulking this challenge.
I love Nelson.
He's kicking ass.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a ton of individual notes. The one was funny. Big T did get in the wrong car.
Yeah, just jumped in the trunk of the wrong car. Yeah, there's not really much to say about this challenge. It's more of like a visual, like watching them make the trips and seeing how long it actually takes to get.
It looked tough.
Yeah, it definitely looked tough because it's hot. You got to run. I was also thinking, like, what if it got to a point where like somebody left like a stack of bills under the safe? Like, I thought it was going to get to that point where it was going to be attacked. Because how do you judge it? You know what I mean? They're not going to count all those bills.
Yeah.
Like I think it's just kind of like somebody was probably eyeing the system.
You're right. I was a little nervous about it being like a gotcha kind of technicality thing too. They have done that a few times this season. We had the thing with Kyle on that jump on that beam, a few challenges back, stuff like that. Kyle last challenge got hit taking from the wrong team. But I did note, which I think could be notable for the final, Devon not having a lot of endurance.
No, this is the furthest he's made it.
Yeah, and I'm saying like if there is the running stretches, that's where we're going to see what he's got. I think we're going to see what he's got. I think it's really easy to make fun of people like Josh and some of these ones that have like crashed and burned in finals, and you've seen guys like Josh come back physically more fit. I think maybe this could be a big humbler for Devon, possibly, if it does become physically strenuous, where he's not going to just get away on politics, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if it comes down to individual, like for the guys remaining, he's the last on my list to have a chance. Like, there's too many good dudes still. Like Kyle's good, CT's good, Logan's really good, Emmanuel's really good.
We were just talking about what's his name.
Nelson has been really good. There's a lot of strong guys. There's also a lot of strong girls too, but he's definitely bottom rung. There's girls I trust more than Devon.
Oh, definitely. So who won?
Emerald team won. Obviously,
Emerald always
they've
wins.
won. They've only lost what, 2?
1 or 2 total. Yeah,
like they're constantly winning. They have their cell is stayed pretty active, minus Josh. But
it is very true.
It not really surprising. Like, just the kind of the way it was going, they have the numbers, like you said, the stamina factor for carrying 2 bags with 2 people, a bag with 2 people definitely adds up over time.
Josh,
a lot of extra hands to like move cash in the car, to like these little tiny factors can add up.
I think it's like, you're right. Like, if you think about it, Josh and Tori got infiltrated, but she's still in the game.
Yeah, it was just like a swap.
Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty successful, like you're saying. I mean, that's
because didn't they say Amanda was doing well today?
Yeah, well, they just said that she seemed like into it, and I think, I mean, the end of the game, like,
because it was a girl,
at least. Well, they like the stuff they were criticizing her for last week. It wasn't like there was much she could really do anyway to help them. So it was like this challenge, she could help a little bit and stuff dollar bills. So like, and so she'll be positive. Like I said, I think she's one that gets a bum rap. Not saying in the past she hasn't deserved some of the rap she's gotten, but this season she hasn't really done anything wrong. just survived.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're definitely right. I will say it was a girls' elimination, so I understand why she was a little more into it.
You're right.
But because essentially you take out that Emerald team, that's half the girls left.
You're right. No, you're
So
right.
big deal for her, I guess.
So
But other than that, not much.
no. So the only thing I have before the elimination is basically just a little bit of the politicking before. Big T says she wants to throw herself in. Devon and Emerald don't want to be infiltrated by anyone other than Tori. They're the only one that they're okay with. So Devon goes and tries to talk to Tori and say, look, like, how would you feel about possibly getting voted, like us voting you in, us telling you heads up, we're going to vote you in. So then you can definitely pick Big T. And then like you can come and infiltrate if you want to. Like you can do whatever you want. And she's not about that. No. She's like, I do not want to go in. And that's where I'm talking about where she threatens their friendship if he votes her.
Right. And it comes back to there's only 3 options. So 66% of the girls are going to go in. So it's funny. They never even mention Emmy because they know they're going to lose her.
Well, and that's the other thing too, is like I have like Emmy is pissed, like because Emmy, like obviously like a spoiler, but Big T does get put in as the vote. Yeah. So Emmy though is really pissed at Emmanuel. She's so funny, dude.
Yeah,
she's just basically saying like, not bros before hoes. in much less more words.
Yeah,
he's I know. I'm hooking up with Tori. Like, what do you want me to do? And she like, what do you want me to do? Don't make me choose because like I'm gonna choose her basically. I've warmed so much on Emmy over this season.
No,
she was good. So annoying, dude.
Yeah, she like the less she speaks, I think a little better, but she's a baller. Like I think she's better than Casey.
Oh yeah, dude, she's gotten like in good shape during the season too. She's one of the people that has noticeably gotten in good shape being on the show that long and like training and doing the stuff. And I love the Uncle CT thing. I love Uncle CT. We never would have gotten without Emmy. So
Mr. TJ.
Mr. TJ, thank you for the kind words, Mr. TJ.
I love it.
So this ends up working out where it's we go down to the elimination. Big T chooses Emmy. So why don't you tell us about that elimination challenge?
I don't remember the name of it per se, but essentially what it is it's kind of like you have to solve. There's a puzzle you have to solve that looks like ice cubes.
License to Chill.
So it's that you have these blocks on a table that are kind of shaped like Tetris pieces.
Exactly.
And we have to start by going on diving into like, it looks like one of those still pools where you can swim and it like has a current, but it's filled with ice and you got to go under, lap, ring a bell, come back. Kind of similar to the step ladder one where you have to ring a bell between Josh and Kevin.
Very similar.
And the twist on this one is TJ can just blow the air horn whenever he wants to like make them go back in the pool. And he does it like, I think pretty frequently. I'm surprised he didn't like double it one time, just like really mess with them having to do like 2 laps on one run. But what's her face? Tori was like, I'm glad I didn't get picked. And I mean, like, for puzzle wise, not a bad choice by Big T to pick Emmy, more physical, but I don't know why these people are so afraid that she's gonna win anything.
Yeah, what is the big deal?
Yeah, I don't understand it. But
the only thing I even have note outside of who ends up winning is those slow-mo shots in the beginning of the challenge. Do you remember those where they had like Emmy specifically like clawing like a tiger?
Yeah.
Dude, she's like into the camera, like crawling in the freaking arena. And I'm like, what is happening right now?
They're taking the Netflix approach where they like do the slow-mo dancing. They do it on Love Never Lies.
I can't wait to talk about Love Never Lies.
Yeah. So, and the other funny thing is like CT yelling at her, like,
clear the board.
Yeah.
No one wanted Big T to win. Literally, not a single person cheers for it. That's like the only sad part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, but you're trying. It's
It's a game
getting near
show.
the end of the game where you gotta keep the people in it that are going to help you win, and she's not going to help any team win, unfortunately.
So who won?
Emmy.
Obviously.
Yeah.
She got to thank her dead grandmother that she knew that she was proud of her. She thanked God. And then she did give the classic thank you for the kind words, Mr. TJ.
Yeah. I love it so much. It's so good.
Yeah, and she stays with Sapphire, obviously. She's
I
not
mean, that
being
seems
ditched.
good. That's the kind of like performance I think that could like help CT and Kyle. Like they're both cheering on Emmy, their teammate. They could like
Cut
get
the
a little
shit.
morale boost. Yeah.
Cut the shit for Emmy because she's on this like crazy Cinderella
Yeah.
run.
She's 4-0, I think, in eliminations this
4
season.
0 in
Awesome.
eliminations, bro.
Yeah, she's like
She's like Killer Cam.
what was the girl who won last year
Um,
from Big Brother?
right, she was literally on this season.
Yeah, she
Not
was like
Not Brittany.
Amber B.
Amber.
Amber
Yep.
B. She's like the Amber B won like at least 3 last year. She did really well too. So that's a good sign for Emmy.
Yeah, like Emmy, her, like I said, and Cam, when Cam was a rookie, she won at least 3 as well. That was when she got the Killer Cam nickname her first season. She just kept going into eliminations and winning. So really cool. I mean, solidified. I mean, we knew this already, but Emmy's a permanent
Yeah,
mainstay.
definitely.
Like we'll see Emmy for like the next 10 years.
Yeah, they got some good rookies, I think, this season. Like her, who's the dude from the circle? Like him.
Ed.
Yeah, Ed and like
Ed from
Logan.
Conchi.
Yeah, Logan and Emmanuel are good rookies.
Well, yeah, well, we know we got some people like Corey said he's not coming back for a little bit. He put that on Instagram when he went back.
Yeah.
He's like taking a break to hang out with his like family, which makes sense. Like take a break for a while. I mean, we got no bananas. CT seems like he's just plugging along. Like he's never gonna stop.
Dude, when he moves to All Stars, he's gonna dominate that.
Kyle, he'll stay for a while. I don't see. I mean, Darrell is doing. I guess is Darrell staying
Darrell's
just on
just doing
All Stars? You
All-Stars, I
think?
think.
You think
Yeah.
he'll just stay on All Stars now?
Yeah, because I think he has the advantage there. Like he's
Yeah, he kills it.
him and Derek. I know we're switching boards here, but and also like speaking of Kyle, did you know like they celebrated his 29th birthday in this season? He looks way older than 29.
Oh my, he looks way older than 20.
Looks like he's like 36.
They had a Scottish birthday party.
It's the teeth. It's the teeth that are masking it.
Freaking teeth. I can't stand them. So yeah, I mean, I really think that does sum it up for this episode, right, Bri?
Yeah, no, it's just like BS drama I don't want to talk about. Like I don't care about Tori and Devon feuding.
No, I didn't. Like I said, when the whole, I know we repeat the points, but it's to make an emphasis. I don't like when you pull the personal stakes of life into like decisions made on a game.
Yeah.
Me and Brian were on a reality show together. We would never be like, dude, I'm not going to be your friend if you vote me out.
Yeah, I would be awful. I would be so bad in these shows because I don't care. They'd be like, "You guys are in?" Like, all right, that's a show.
That's a show, man.
All right, like the producer will badger me in the confessional. I'll be like, I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, take me to the party.
I want to get Kevin on one of these shows.
He would be good.
Kevin would be great. Stay tuned now for part 2, which is said we will cover episode 3 of Challenge All-Stars season 2. Peace. Welcome back to part 2. So we're here to cover the 3rd episode of the Challenge All-Stars, which was season 3. Did this have a title, Bri? Did you see per se? I didn't see a title.
We'll just say it was episode 3.
Great Balls of Fire.
That's what it was called?
No, I'm just guessing.
Oh.
It sounds like something it could be called. There wasn't a ton in this episode. It wasn't a bad episode by any means, but just not a lot of different through lines on this one. So the main beginning point here is that Ayana and Sophia, who are really close or allegedly really close, get into a fight over Ayana doing a bad haircut for Sophia.
Yeah, I think she was like trying to like spin dreads for her or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Like do curls for her. She said it made her look like how she used to look like when she got bullied. I don't understand what it has to do. You asked the girl to do it. I don't. Yeah,
it's weird. I don't know. I don't know how much I can comment on it, but it was because you also didn't see anything the way the camera angle was, so you don't.
We never got to actually see it.
Yeah, it's weird.
And from what we've seen last week, Ayana is not somebody to mess with.
No, because she's a brute.
Dude. And we'll see that theme continue this episode. They pretty quickly get into the challenge. It's called Around the Block. So a series of puzzles where there's going to be two teams, which is another part, Brian, I know you probably like as well, that they get to choose their own teams.
Yeah, and it's always just like it's like almost like left, right side. It's never like they're like wasting a lot of time deciding these teams. It's just kind of like, oh, you're near me. Let's be a team. And that's it. You just go.
I have the teams here. Do you have them listed?
Who's on it?
Yeah.
I do not.
Okay, so black team is Tina, Darrell, Janelle, Nehemiah, Melinda, Tyler, Jasmine, Latarian, Katie, Derek, and Brad, which is like a good squad.
Yeah.
Versus the green team, Ayana, Ryan, Kahuta, Sophia, Steve, Kendall, Tech, Jody, MJ, Casey, and John A. So 2 representatives, Bri, per team, correct?
Yeah, they kind of adopted what they were doing a lot last season, which I actually don't mind because, again, it's still losing team goes in, which is something I endorse. I kind of like it more when they do these challenges where it's teams of 2. So, like, you don't know who's going to lose. Like, I don't like when it's only 2 options, but honestly, I'll take it. It's better than nothing.
Yep.
It's better than voting for both teams. I like that. Losing has to have consequences.
Has to have consequences.
Yeah.
Those representatives, green team is Darrell and Tina, and black team is Ryan and Ayana. But Ayana is safe because she has the life protector. So it's a pretty smart move to, put yourself there. You're kind of shielding people. Well, so we think, at least.
Yeah, she didn't choose it though. I think she kind of just that was the one where they picked the numbers, right?
Yeah, they're right.
On the back.
Yeah, no one.
Ryan went in voluntarily.
Dumb.
But the girls were not feeling it. But
never putting myself in anything like that. Ever. No, like I'll draw something, but like there's no the risk isn't worth the reward to me.
Yeah.
At least early on.
Yeah, that's true.
So basically it was a standard challenge puzzle. Some of the pieces were on the ground, some of the pieces were in a water kind of pond area. You had to do the first puzzle, which was the pieces from the ground. Second puzzle were the pieces from the water. The black team wins. That means that Ryan, being the representative from the green team, goes straight to elimination. But like we said, Ayana is safe. So I love this shit they pull on this season. So since she was safe, she gets to choose who goes straight to the elimination. And she doesn't care about how anyone actually did during the challenge. She sends Sophia in because she's annoying to her now.
Yeah, the hair beef.
The hair beef literally sent her to an elimination.
How long do you think they're going to do this life vest thing?
Were they all in life vests? That's what I was thinking. I didn't know if they all were in life vests.
Wait, you mean for the challenge?
Yeah, for the swimming part.
Oh, I don't know. I meant the lifeboat or whatever that life.
Oh, the lifesaver.
Yeah, the lifesaver. Because they were doing it last season, but they stopped. They didn't do it the entire. There was only like the first couple eliminations, so I wonder if this is going to be the same deal. Well, like you can't just keep doing it. If you win an elimination, so if you win an elimination like week 10, you're like golden, pretty much.
No, I agree. I think they'll do what they did kind of last season. Like they'll get to a certain elimination challenge where someone will win, and at the end of the challenge they'll go, "No lifesaver," and it'll be like, "Oh," kind of one of those type of things.
Yeah, we'll do is like this is the final week for agents.
No, that would be on Spies.
I know. That's what I'm used to saying now. Agents. So it'll be all-stars.
All-stars.
Fingers crossed.
So she does make a line where she says that she's going to do her a gift and let her become the best version of herself, hopefully by going to an elimination. And Jasmine says it's fucking bullshit. It's not a fucking gift, and goes on a couple of different rants in the confessionals, which I found to be pretty funny.
Yeah, she was definitely power tripping a little bit there, which is not a good thing. But I mean, she was so good in the elimination. It's going to be, we'll see how long it sticks for, like how long she'll last. If it's like that.
Brian, we can't talk about power tripping without talking about Tina.
She power tripped more this episode. I thought I saw the biggest power trip, and then I was shocked to see it happen again. And this one was a little more consequence, I think, because of like you're throwing people. I mean, we're gonna get to it, but so Darrell and Tina had to choose the four, which I actually really like this
I
season.
think it's really cool.
Really cool. I think it's a really cool like new twist on the show. And before Darrell's like telling his roommates, "Hey guys, you're safe," and it ended up.
So his roommates, real quick, his roommates being, for context, MJ, Kahuta, and John A.
Right. And he's like, "Oh, I won't put any of your names in there." And they did like a draft kind of thing. And like you would think that Darrell would have drafted his roommates. You know what I mean? Like
he screwed them on that. Was very. I thought the same thing. Why wouldn't you throw them out first?
So he did. Tech was in there, and since Nehemiah won last elimination, he used his lifeboat or whatever lifesaver on for Tech, I guess for redemption from last season when he eliminated him. But
yeah,
and then of course, what's his name? How do you say that guy's name?
Kahuta
got added in, so that just like sealed Darrell's fate. That is
3 of his 4 roommates were nominated.
Right.
Actually, all of his
kind of got screwed there. But Tina picked Jody, who I guess they have beef.
They got beef, dude.
And that's going to be a nice little beef, I think, this season.
I think they said the Inferno too. I think was when they kind of were colliding, like kind of colliding heads. Jody was very good, obviously, first individual female winner. So yeah, like Brian said, originally Jody, John A, Tech, MJ. Tech gets saved by Nehemiah. We have Kahuta and Jody voted in. So the elimination, Brian, Fireball.
AKA tic-tac-toe.
It's a best 2 out of 3 tic-tac-toe, people, where it is lit on fire, the balls, and you have to race back and forth. And we saw some all-time just dumb
bad
tic-tac-toe play.
What if TJ didn't give him a glove for the Heat?
I mean, that's a real all-star would have done.
Right.
So yeah, that means the matchups were Jody versus Sophia and Ryan versus Kahuta. Brian, how did we fare?
I mean, it was a sweep on both rounds. Kahuta won the men 2-0 and Jody won 2-0, but I don't know where the worst error was. Would you say it was Sophia?
I would only say Sophia just because they saw Ryan do that already and screw up. So like you have to be kind of a little bit more aware of it. But I think Sophia knew, and we all knew more so of that game was a speed game. If you can go and get that 3 corners on any corner first, like you're just faster to get 3 than another person, you're probably going to win. And that's where I think you lost the mental lapse with Sophia. Ryan was just as athletic as Kahuta. He just panicked.
He just made a brain fart.
He just panicked. So, I mean, overall, I mean, this was not a bad episode. It just seemed like it lacked a little bit. Like, I think episode 2 was a little bit better than episode 3.
Yeah. Yeah, they can't all be winners, but
no, I agree.
It was good. It was, I'm always going to be fine with the losing team having to go in. Like, I need consequences, and there are consequences every episode so far. So I'm very okay with that.
I think also those consequences and the losing thing is going to spur a little bit more of the house life because people are going to be trying to avoid the elimination like hell. They're going to be trying to maybe pre-set up some teams, and we get trivia next week.
Yeah, I always love the trivia.
It's good when these people do trivia because most of them are on those seasons. So it's gonna be really interesting because when you watch them on some of the current seasons, some of the people are really good at it because they're like Uber fans and they go back and watch things. But like these people are literally going to have been on these old seasons. So it's going to be really cool. I'd love if they asked some current season questions. Like,
that'd be awesome.
On Challenge 35, who did Turbo lose an elimination to? Yeah. You know, something like that'd be really cool.
It'd be awesome if TJ threw like a question from like episode 1.
Oh my
God. Something that happened like 3 days ago. Test their age and their memory.
Yeah, who was the first to finish your first elimination challenge? I actually really like that, dude. That's freaking classic.
It'd be really funny. Especially if it was later, like they did this like episode 8, and they asked a question about episode 2, because obviously the person who got eliminated is gone. So who got eliminated at week 2 of the season?
It'd be great if you're only like episode like question 7 and it was like, what? Who got question 1 correct?
Right. Right.
You mean on literally on this one? Too late.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah. See ya.
This one's like
Down,
him like launching them off a
down,
building.
down 10 stories.
Sheesh. Okay, so I think that's going to wrap it up. Please watch out for our coverage. So next episode will either be the next episode of Love Never Lies, which would be coverage of episode 3, or it'll be our next episode of the First Impression Bros. We are going to cover, and I want to make sure that I actually get the correct name for this, Brian.
Okay. We're doing
It's the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip.
all right, let's do it.
The Ultimate Girls Trip is basically an all-star season of the Real Housewives where they all go on a vacation together, where it's kind of a lot of the main characters from different seasons, and apparently they're going to get in fights. I've been a big Real Housewives, especially New York franchise fan. Brian saw the final season, but I think this one, from what we've seen quickly on Twitter, could be pretty funny. I think they've only actually aired 1 or 2 episodes total. So it'll be, kind of right in our alley. We're recording right now on the 27th. It looks like they may have dropped like an episode or 3 on the first week, just as a kind of a big bulk drop. So we'll find something random. We'll find a random episode and we'll have our live impressions. So cool. For myself, Brian, Kevin, peace.